Hello everyone, my name is Kristen Cross. I am a Georgia Middle School PE Virtual Specialist and I am a physical education and health teacher at the middle school level. Today I will be covering different throwing and catching skill development activities over the next two presentations. Between this presentation and a part 2, the following activities will be covered: fish in a barrel, crazy catch, 10 pin, see it, move it, 4 to score, switch, swat, ricochet, toss 3, hot box, goaltimate, clean up your yard, 4 corners, star drill, throw and go. This first activity is called Fish in a Barrel. You will divide your students into 4 different teams and have them designate a team space on the outside of the gym. In the center, you can use 3 large buckets or perhaps a rolling trash can. You will spread a ton of poly spots or maybe even the small dome cones around the buckets at varying distances throughout the gym. When play begins, students will grab a football, go to the poly spot, and try to throw the football into the barrel. If they make it, they will pick up the poly spot and take it back to their team space. The team with the most poly spots at the end of play wins. I think this activity would be great for any throwing activity that you have in your unit. We could certainly use foam balls, you could use the footballs, you could use frisbees. Again, anything that you would need to apply this to a throwing and catching situation. The next activity is called Crazy Catch. You will have your students organize themselves into groups of 5. 4 of the students will grab a football or a foam ball or a frisbee or a yarn ball, whatever you would like to use, and they will stand in a square with the 5th student standing in the middle. On the word go, the student in the middle will catch a pass from one student on the outside and throw it back to the same person. They will then half turn to the right and catch a pass from the next student, and so on until they have caught a pass from each outside person. Once they have completed the entire circuit, then you can just go ahead and replace that student number 5 with somebody else. So again, just a great warm-up activity for anything throwing and catching for any of the sports that you are teaching. This activity is called 10 pin. You will have students split up into 4 different teams, and each team will receive 10 bowling pins. Obviously, our plastic would probably work best. You can set up your gym into 4 different zones with a center line down the middle of your gym to separate the 2 courts of play. A mixture of soft foam balls will be placed on the center line in between 2 different squares of teams. Students will place their pins anywhere they want between 2 lines. So we just gave the students 2 lines on the floor on their side and just told them that they could strategically place them however they would like. They can be close to the line, they can be far away, they can be all together, etc., etc. On go, students run to the center, not crossing that center line ever, to grab a ball and try to knock over a pin by throwing the ball. If the pin is knocked down, it stays down. So again, we try to have the students strategize with each other to try to figure out how best to get the pins down, because the opposing team is allowed to guard the pin. If they are guarding a pin, they must be 2 steps away from that pin. So usually we keep a pretty close eye on this because they like to stay close. Students work together to try to knock down all 10 pins on the other side. If they are successful, you can rotate teams so that they can challenge another team, and you can continue play. This activity is called See It, Move it. The object of the game is to move and create open space so that teammates can throw you a pass. This is an excellent activity for any invasion game that you will be playing. Each person in the group will begin standing by one of the 6 cones, which will leave a few cones that are empty. One person will begin holding the object you have chosen to use. Again, foam football, normal foam ball, yarn ball, frisbees, whatever you would like to use. On go, the person with the object will throw it to someone else in the group. After throwing the object, the thrower will immediately move to another open cone. This continues to see how many successful throws can be completed in a row. After some time, a defender will be added to try to disrupt the passes in a keep-away style of game. One teammate will stay in the middle of the activity area and not by a cone until they can intercept or knock the ball away during a pass. The defender cannot guard the person with the object. If they disrupt a pass, they will trade spots with that thrower. This activity is called 4-to-score. This is a modified game of football where the object is to score a touchdown with a maximum of only 4 passes. Teams will play rock, paper, scissors, show to determine which team will get the ball first. Play starts with the winning team standing on their end line. Both teams line up like football teams set for a play. One person on offense is the quarterback, and all other teammates are receivers. Make sure you change quarterbacks with each possession. The quarterback says, "Ready, set, hike," to begin play. Receivers attempt to get open for a pass. Defenders cannot rush the quarterback, but can stand and move their arms to try to block or deflect the ball. If a pass is completed, the receiver stops where they caught the ball. Repeat until the team scores or runs out of downs, no more than 4 passes. On an interception, the other team takes possession at the spot where it is caught. If a team is on 4th down, they only have the option of going for a score or quote-unquote punting. Punting simply gives the other team the ball at the end to start. If a team fails to score on the 4th down, play begins at the spot of the last play. So it may be an advantage to punt if the offensive team has failed to move the ball up the field. This activity is called switch. The object of the game is for the offense to score a goal. Teacher's choice can be soccer, handball, or basketball, or even football. And they must have 3 passes must be made before a shot is taken at the target. When a goal is scored or an interception is made, meaning the defense gains possession, players yell "switch." On the signal, teams switch positions. Offense becomes defense and defense becomes offense. Play doesn't stop while the players rotate in and out, so players will need to move quickly and be ready. Defensive teams must stay inside the spot markers, but may move throughout the defensive area. Offense must stay outside the spot markers, but may move throughout the offensive area. If a player breaks this rule more than 3 times, he or she must sit out for 1 minute while the other team has a power play. As you can see from the diagram, we have just an object on top of a cone. So this can be used as their target after they make the 3 passes on the offensive team. This will continue until the stop signal occurs. Again, this can be used for any of the invasion games or any throwing and catching type of activity. This activity is called SWAT. The object of this game is to work together to get as many noodle slices as possible into the other team's goal. The goalies use their pool noodles to defend the goal and swat the noodle slices out of the air. As you can see from the setup, there are 4 different goals used with a perimeter around them using cones for the goalies to remain in. Then in the center of the gym are 2 different hoops that contain noodle pieces. On the start signal, each attacker, everyone that isn't a goalie, will pick up 1 noodle slice from their team's basket and move it to the other team's goal. While staying outside of the restricted zone, students will attempt to throw their noodle slice into the goal. Once they throw the noodle slice, that slice cannot be picked up or used again during that round. The attackers then run back to their basket and repeat, only picking up 1 noodle slice at a time. Goalies must always stay inside the restricted zone and may only use their pool noodles to defend the goal. When all of the noodle slices have been used, the teams will count how many noodle slices went into each team's goal. Again, you could probably modify this if you would like to include a passing scenario where you are throwing and catching with a partner and moving towards the opponent's goal, or you could just simply have students running with the noodle slices and trying to throw the noodle slice into the goal. Either way will work. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I hope you found this information helpful and applicable to your classroom. I have provided my contact information if you have any questions.